Alright guys, welcome back. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to look at my climb to Guardian in Season 7. Now, you can see up there I'm Guardian at 1902. That is not currently the cutoff. But this is when I made my big push. We've got, I think, 15 matches, so quite a few. So we're going to talk about it and kind of follow my progress. So we're looking from 1790 all the way to 1902. So let's pause it at the pick ban. I went with Molong first pick. That's my standard first pick. The only problem with a Molong first pick is it opens you up to Gainey Hathor immediately following it. But I've faced that enough where, like, I don't have a good win rate, but I feel like I have a decent idea of what I want to do against Gainey Hathor. And Molong opens up so many avenues to victory for me, so I always use Molong. He followed up with Fang Vela, which is a very defensive-minded team, which is fine. I go with Oki Perna, got my second DPS in there, Molong being my first, Perna being my second, and Oki being my counter to Veligil. Pretty good counter to Veligil. Then he went with Draco, I think is the name, the immunity bar boosting red brownie, and Garo. I responded with Tessa because I'm looking at two passives there, and Triana, and he went with the light vampire, which is a fantastic DPS for him. So breaking down his team, he wants to go first. That's what the Garo's for. And then he's got two fire bar boosters, which I think is clever. He knows what he wants to do. He wants to either get one of his bar boosters or get the speed lead for the other one that's not banned. So got to respect his game there. His only sustain is the panda and whatever healing the ninja can do on its own. I banned the ninja. I just thought, we're going to speed it up a little bit. I thought it was a little bit too much damage, and I didn't want him to have his speed lead. I thought I would go first, but I was wrong. My Okeanos is, I want to say, around 285, so his Draco is clearly faster than that. So we're going to definitely run not 1x speed so that you guys don't have to suffer through the traditional speed. We get the early first kill on Draco, feeling good about that. Didn't get the stun on the Panda, which is unfortunate, and Triana's also not looking her healthiest, but the immunity is pretty clutch. Get the cooldown on Vela. Now, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. This is probably not the perfect play here. I was thinking, I'll burn down the vampire and burn down the other two by doing that, but I don't think that was wise. I think I should have gone straight after the Veligil, because the vampire is tankier than the Veligil because he's sucking health from everybody. But now that it's just the panda, I don't want to give the panda bar, so I'll work on this vampire, especially with the double hit, pretty nice, and burn down the panda that way is my plan. Vampire down, just this panda left, and that's our first win. So moving on. And you can see the results of the matches there, but I really want to talk about the pick ban and some of the gameplay. So let's get this pick ban out. Okay, so looking at his team, he's got a single source of immunity in the pony, which is a permanent source of immunity. His sustain is the panda and the Perna, two great sustain sources. His DPS is only the Perna, but the panda also, and the panda enables the Perna. So if you let those two go through, you're in a bit of a pickle because they reinforce each other and they sustain. But the alternative is him having immunity forever and him having forever crowd control. So I like this team quite a bit from him. It's a little bit unconventional, and it's not doing anything as far as turn one, unless you count Okeanos as going after turn one, but it's got a lot going on. My team has two sources of sustain in the Triana and the Jean, with the Vanessa and the Josephine being sort of backup pseudo sustain in that they're not healing, but they're providing shields and another life. I've got two forms of defense break with the Molong and the Vanessa, which I really like, and I've got two forms of death prevention, a bunch of crowd control, all kinds of stuff. So this sort of team is actually proven to be one of my better teams. It loses sometimes, but it will get to the end game. So let's see how it plays out. Speed it up here. Ban the Gainey, ban the Molong. I ban the Gainey just because it enables the Okeanos and the Perna. You don't want to have to kill a Perna 3 times. You kill a Perna 3 times, you probably have lost. I really don't like that he's got the Perna and Panda, but what are you going to do? You got to pick your poison. So he got rid of the Gainey. I didn't want him resetting my death prevention either, even though he's got the Okeanos, so we'll see how it goes. All right, he's got full will. I do not because I'm not as intelligent. I should probably run full will more. I just don't. It's kind of hubris in a way. I'm like, I don't need will. I'll outspeed. But then I lose matches by not having will. That was a nice resist there on the Vanessa. It enables my little live forever combo to keep going. And I'm just happy to work away on this Perna. Josephine's such an interesting monster because she doesn't get banned very often, but she almost always is instrumental in deciding the victory of the match. She's not threatening enough to ban, I don't think, except for really heavy crowd control teams, which his is sort of a hybrid. It's half damage, half crowd control. But man, is she good. Like, she really is the only reason I'm able to do anything to this Perna. She's my only form of buff removal. And he has permanent immunity, so it's working out really nice. Perna's down. And we're just playing whack-a-mole, you know? We're playing I will live forever, hopefully, and I will slowly murder your monsters one at a time, which is a lot of the ways that I see higher level players winning. They take no chances. They don't try to YOLO. They don't allow violent procs to unduly influence the match. I mean, everybody's going to get them, but they just grind it out. They grind you down with their sustain, and they just hang out forever. So that's what we're doing. So we'll speed it up a little bit. 3x is pretty fast, because I think we know what's going on here, right? I'm using the cleanse, I'm using the heals, I'm using everything I can to slowly burn things down. His only form of sustain is the panda, and I'm more than happy to burn down his defense buffer, cleanser, stunner, immunity thing. So it's done. Panda's not long for this world. Still doing a ton of damage. It could pull this out theoretically, but it did not that time. All right, next up. Oh, goodness. All right, we're going to stop it at the picks. Okay, so I did my Molong opener. He did Jean Ragdoll, lovely, light dark, triple S units, and they don't open you up to any sort of pick counters because it's light dark, it's neutral, so you don't know whether to pick fire or wind or whatever. So that's a really, really strong opening by Dog with Glasses. So I go Gainey Triana because what I really don't want to have to happen after Jean Ragdoll is him to go Gainey Hathor, because that gives me so many problems and not enough bans to deal with everything. So I put the Gainey in there just to kind of ban it from him. And Triana's my best form of sustain, in my opinion, so I try to pick Triana as much as possible. Now that he knows what element I'm heavy in, wind, he goes double fire, which I think these are great double fire picks. The Vanessa Perna, 2 of the top 3 picks outside of Okeanos, I would say. So I respond with my Okeanos, because that's one of my ways I deal with Pernas and Vanessas. And then he follows up with another fire pick, which I think is a smart choice in Rakan. I don't know that Rakan is that great a pick in the grand scheme of things. Not sure. He's clearly going to ban a fire because he's wanting to burn through all my wind. But I don't know. Rakan, I'm not really that scared of Rakan. Sometimes he wins, but eh. And of course, I think you got to always ban the Ragdoll because his win rate is like 70% pre-nerf. So you see a Ragdoll, ban a Ragdoll. I was lucky to get the cooldown on the Jean. The Vanessa would have also been an interesting target. But I don't want to be controlled for forever, so I go ahead and grab that Jean. Do my second reset on Perna. Now I need to kill Perna once plus whatever Vanessa does. Not too bad, because he didn't come back at full health. You'd rather him come back via Vanessa than via himself, because then he's got all the health. And Garo makes short work of that. Marina Stones. Now we're heavily in control of the match and feeling pretty good here. Got everything we need. I don't see any way for him to kill the Garo, and I think that's a problem. Garo's at his best when there's no multi-hitters. Any multi-hitters, and I mean, obviously, any multi-hitters, and suddenly he's not quite a winner. But man, no immunity, no multi-hitters. I feel like he has a decent chance of soloing this team. I mean, maybe 50%, something like that. He brings too much to the table to think that this guy has a chance to win. I just don't think he does. But also, you know, looking at the difference in quality of runes based on level, I think this guy might be a, you know, Ragdoll carries me to whatever my rank is and that sort of business. So we're just going to grind it out here. I'm pretty sure we're good to go because I've still got my sustain. I've still got my control, and my DPS might not be killable. We try to reset the Vanessa. We fail. Go ahead and finish it off. John's not for long for this world, and we'll go ahead and power through the rest of this match. Rakan versus Garo is not even fair because Rakan can't do 2 things unless he's on Violent, and there's just not a lot of them. All right, next match. Rolling along. So I face a G2. Yay, happy times. And pause. So I open Molong. He opens Triana Fran. He opens double immunity, but like sneaky aggressive double immunity, which is interesting. The Fran is the aggressive version of immunity. Also can be pretty quick and has a cleanse, which is really nice. So I go with just control. I go Gainey Oki, which standard control, and also Rainbow, which is nice. I have one of each main element, so he might not know which way I'm gonna end up. He goes with Sierra and Rocky, which is interesting since I have no death prevention currently. He's like anticipating a Perna. Maybe he's seen me play before or something. I don't know. Maybe the Rocky's just his standard choice. But I'm like, I don't care about Rocky. I'm gonna go with Perna Vanessa and just tough it out. And then he finishes with Tessarian. So he's got decent counters to Perna. I ban the Rocky because I really don't want to lose Perna that quickly. You know, like And if I let the Tessarian live, he can't Oblivion, Perna, and Vanessa simultaneously without like a crazy amount of luck. So in theory, my Perna will get a little bit of a chance to get things done. All right, we get the lucky buff removal on Fran. Say goodbye to that in, a week. So this will not be possible in a week. And then we do what this team does. We defense break, we hit it hard, we pop Triana's passive, and now we just got to get through one more shot with the kill. He gets the nice defense break. Oki does not look long for this world and just dies off. Sad face. Because he's Oblivion. Vanessa's Oblivion. He gets the nice little heal there. Still got Perna. Still feeling okay, but I need this Ciara to die like really soon to have a good chance. I don't remember if I win this one or not. It's not looking great, especially with that attack buff. And the Fran seems to stun at an annoyingly high rate. I don't know if you guys have that same experience, but you're like, oh, it's a Fran. First skill stuns. Second skill cleanse and heal. Third skill immunity, attack buff. It's all good. All right, so this does not look like a win for me. So it worked out for him. I don't know that I would have changed anything. Maybe my target selection initially should have been the Triana. Maybe. But I don't know that I could have burned down the Triana. Not that I burned down the Fran. So loss for me against the G2. But we're climbing, so we're not losing too many points. Now we're facing person with lips. Another G2. About 100 points above me. So this is an interesting one. We'll pause it after the pick ban and go through it. So it's clearly... Oh, we already see the ban. It's clearly a cleave, right? As soon as they open up with Bastet or Triana, you know it's a cleave. I don't know what I would do differently in a cleave because they really need those units to cleave. But you telegraph it, and that immediately makes the opponent go anti-cleave. And so whatever your anti-cleave is, it doesn't matter. Bring it out. Give it a shot. You might win, you might lose. But if you don't pick anti-cleave, you're going to get cleaved. Like, don't just pick your best units. Pick anti-cleave. You'll notice there's no Molong here. I could have picked Molong, but no. I need to pick my anti-cleave team. So as soon as I see that Bastet, I go Sierra speed lead, because a lot of cleaves will run their Sierra speed lead. That's really the only speed lead I see other than Faye. But I immediately throw Sierra out there. And then I do my Oki, who's one of my fastest units, and with the speed lead, will outspeed any bar booster on an opposing team. So I feel good about that. He goes with Tiana and Soth, so that's his other speed lead I didn't consider. And I'm like, okay, so I got 2 speed leads. I'll do my 33% in Vanessa, which is also super tanky and has res, so I'm happy about that. And then I do Gainey, because Gainey's one of my fastest units. And a lot of times, cleaves won't have will on a couple of units, and I only need to reset 1 unit on this team. I don't care what it is. Any unit I reset, I'm doing pretty good. And so what I did is I brought my 2 best Swift sets and 2 speed leads. I'm feeling good. Then he brings kind of the traditional cleave cleanup. There's a variety of them, but this is normal, the Zyros Lucian. Lucian's great because you get a little combo there with Bastet. If you give Bastet Lucian, you're looking at dying. Whereas if you give Tiana Zyros, you're looking at getting cleansed and then getting reset. So there's 2 little awesome interactions there. I ban the speed lead. I think you always ban the speed lead if there's only one. If there's only one bar booster, ban the bar booster, right? So you just want to cripple his ability to be fast. So that's what I'm doing, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know that this always works. So actually, we'll slow it down. This is going to be an interesting one. So the only unit of mine that outspeeds is the Gainey, because he banned the Oki, right? He's like, oh, the Oki's his fastest unit. If I ban the Oki, I'm good. He didn't expect a Swift Gainey. Most people kind of don't, but it works out. I reset the Dragon, and I also get the bar on Lucian, which is fantastic luck. If I don't get that, I'm in big trouble, because he does Tiana, and then he does Bastet, so he's going to get attack buff. And he gets a little bit of bar, but not enough to lap my whole team. So then I get the defense break. Perna does Perna things. And we're feeling pretty good here, right? Because we've reset the Dragon, and we've killed the Lucian. It's neutralized. The benefit of this team for him is, what does he care, He played the match in 10 seconds. He'll play all 30 matches, whereas I'll play 10 matches a day, right? So Cleave looks really fun and interesting. I just don't have the units. I don't think it's viable without Tiana, Bastet, speed lead. And I think the speed lead has to be a Ciara or a Samath or a Faye. I don't think it can be a Vanessa. So you need a very specific set of units, and it wins a lot. It only has to win X amount of time, and it just plays tons of matches. So beat a Cleave. Nice to see something a little different. And we're moving on to the next match. Speed up a little bit. See if I can get it before the bans. So this is Ray. He is from Japan. Oh, good. This is a Molong counter. All right, so he picked Molong. So what do? I have not quite locked in what I want to do, but at this point I was thinking Oki Gainey. That gives me my 2 best Swift sets, which gives me all kinds of options. It gives me reset ability and potential threaten first turn. So I like that. It breaks up Gainey Hathor, and it deals well with Pernas, Velajoules, things like that. So it's a pretty versatile double pick off of the Molong. You have to have your Molong team, and you have to have your Kill Molong team, and this is what I'm going with. It's got some variety now. Sometimes I do Gainey Jean. I don't know. He counters with Helena Wusa, which is interesting. It gives him a defense breaker. It gives him a chance to go infinite and just ruin my day. Helena is a nice counter to the Gainey Oki because the cooldowns are short. It's defense break. It hits hard. It's got a shield. So I respect that. And the Wusa gives me all kinds of problems because it messes up control. I counter with Josephine Triana because I need some sustain, right? I can't just not heal. So Triana's my best sustain. Josephine is my answer for immunity and stuns, which Molong is stuns, Wusa is immunity, so Josephine gets the pick there. He follows up with Tessarian and Beta. So he goes, okay, I'll go double immunity. I've got double defense break, and I've got the ability to shut down your passives. My passives being Triana, Josephine, and my last pick, Elsharian. I decide I need another form of Wusa dealing with Wusa, dealing with Beta. He's got double immunity. What do I do? He bans out the Elsharian. He's like, nope, we're going to keep our immunity. Thank you very much. I ban out the Tessarian because I feel like I've got too many passives. And we're going to try to burn down that unicorn. See if we can't deal with that unicorn. That's the only threat. We reset the Molong. I mean, okay, Molong's a threat. Let's not be crazy. We strip the unicorn, so things are going great. We counter, we stun. We reset it again. And we're all in, right? There's a second form of immunity. There's my little immunity, such as it is. Josephine's passive triggered again. Thank you. Thank you, Josephine. And he's decided that Okeanos is his target, which is fine. That's a great choice. Okeanis, the plural form of Okeanos, are frequently built accuracy slot 6, so it's not a bad choice. Out of his choices, I think Okeanos is a great target. Gainies are usually a pretty good target, but they don't need as much accuracy, so Okeani are usually a little squishier. I'm not making much headway on this unicorn, and that's troubling because he's definitely got the more long game team. I've got the control team against double immunity. That's bad. And he's got healing. He's got defense break. He's got all the good things. I have no defense break, which makes this really, really tricky. And he's got every turn defense break. Speed this up to 3. Let's get this party started. You can see, based on the bars, that I'm losing, right? I'm losing the let's focus one unit and wail on it. So clearly mistakes were made. And it might just be the way that the pick ban played out. I got double immunity pretty hard into my double reset / speed team. And this does not look like a win to me, especially since I've got 3 defense breaks. We reset the Wusa and do pretty good damage. We're trying now to 3-on-4 against 4 healthy, tanky monsters with shields and crit reduction and all kinds of good stuff. So can we kill the unicorn? Can we? Can we kill the Wusa? We can. Okay, so now, I guess we just won that. I don't know how that happened. We found a little hole in the immunity. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit confused. I fully expected to lose that. All right, let's look at the pick ban. We got a really high G2, 2033. The G3 cutoff being in the 2100 range. Okay, what did I do wrong? For those of you watching at home, I think the answer is clear. I did not have a Hathor. That was my mistake. He first picked Gainey, so I can't un-Gainey Hathor him, which is sad. So I'm like, darn. So I went with Molong because I don't want him to have Molong. And Oki. Oki's kind of my counter to the win units. So same kind of deal. He follows it up with Wusa because Wusa is fantastic and immunity is great. I go with my anti-crowd control Josephine and my sweet sustain Triana. He follows up with Vanessa and Chow, which is interesting because he picked the Chow before I picked the Perna, which probably means my Perna pick was poor because I picked a counter DPS into what kills it. So that was not my wisest. Ideally, I would have some sort of win DPS there. I think what I wanted is I wanted another form of sustain, and I was so enamored with getting another form of sustain that I was like, oh, Perna sustain. Right here from this pick band, I feel very uncomfortable with the way I've picked band. Because picking Perna into a Chow is not wise. Him picking the Chow is kind of weird looking at my current setup, but maybe he's decided, Okeanos as his target, and that's the plan, which is not a bad plan. I think had I had this dude over again, I probably would have picked either Sierra to give me a win DPS, which is great, or maybe a Jean just to kind of go full tanky. But let's see how it plays out. I don't remember. So I banned the Chow. I'm like, oh man, so that's a mistake. I could have not banned the Chow and dealt with the Chow via DPS. Having to ban a Chow when I have last pick is unfortunate. He bans Triana, so he was going to ban my only form of sustain if I didn't get Perna. So, okay, I see that. But I'm now dealing with Gainey Hathor with no counters, which is going to be bad. I think we're just going to see straight up Gainey Hathor, if I had to guess. This may have not been my wisest moment. We're only half Hathor. I'm going to speed it up because if this is true Gainey Hathor. This is going to be slow going. Perna is the perfect target for him because it's my sustain. It doesn't sustain itself, so might as well murder away. And with my DPS / sustain gone, there's no healing. It's just reset Josephine, who is supposed to counter this mess, and just murder me. So ideally, I would have picked a win DPS or some sort of win stripper and banned the Gainey so that my Josephine would be good against the Hathor. Letting that happen was, I feel like, on me. He could have still won with however it would have played out, but this is one I feel like I lost at the pick ban, which happens. Ideally, you lose as few as possible at the pick ban, but sometimes you lose them. All right. Ooh, here we go. Similar kind of a thing. And I'm probably kicking myself for letting that happen. So this time around, I picked the Gainey after the Molong. I tried to do that. Picked the Oki. He went Hathor Wusa. I followed up with Josephine because that's my Hathor / Wusa. Josephine semi-counters all three of the units he had in play. The Molong, the Hathor, and the Wusa. So I feel really good about that. I go with the Triana because that's my immunity, that's my sustain, and I'm low on sustain. He follows up with Perna Yanhong. So, okay, he has sustain. But I go with Jean because let's try Jean. She's good, right? Let's give her a go. I ban the Wusa. He bans, I didn't see, Oki. And here we go. I know that Perna's my biggest problem, right? I really don't want to die with... I don't want my Triana to die. But Josephine already does the thing she does, which is great. We reset her so I get another round of immunity. And we're just going to work on this Perna. What's nice about this is he has no immunity. So in theory, I can take over the crowd control with my Jean. The Yanhong's a bit of a problem. And by a bit, I mean a massive problem. But I feel pretty good about it. We reset the Perna. He's down to 1 life. And basically, I'm doing to him what the previous guy did to me. Probably not as great because it's not Gainey Hathor, but it's the same concept, right? It's Gainey Jean. Same kind of deal. So the Perna's down. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not as scared of that Yanhong as I should be, and I'm definitely not scared of that Hathor. The only real threat to me is the Molong because it has the defense break, and then the Yanhong enabling it infinitely. We reset the Molong because, yeah, we don't want him to do horrible things. And then we're just trying to deal with the Yanhong as best we can. Sleep, that we'll take it. Provoke, we'll take it. And he calls it a day. So we beat a Yanhong. Yay, Yanhong. All right, going into the next match, we got Moteo, a G3 super player. So already, against this sort of comp, we're feeling like we're probably going into a loss. So what do we do? What I like to do against G3s is I try to get as much speed on my team as possible because I feel like they will run laps around me. That's where their strengths are. They're super efficient, but they're super fast. My Molong is right around 260. I think it's like 258. G3's Molongs are 280, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. So I gotta get on their level, right? I gotta get my speed up. So I pick my 2 speed units, which I do this anyway, so it's not like some revolution. He picks the speed lead immunity, so he wants his immunity quickly or his Molong quickly. I pick a speed lead because I gotta go fast. So I go Sierra Triana, and he follows up with Raccoony Fire Monkey. So he does not want to get controlled in any way. The Raccoony's also resistant to control. I mean, that's a nat 3 on a G3. So for those of you that are unsure on Raccoony, I mean, look at that, right? So I go Jean. Give a little sustain, maybe some crowd control. We'll see how it goes. I ban out the Wusa. He bans out the speed lead. So look at the differential in speed. This is where these G3s just crush you because he's going 33% faster and he took out my 24%. So I just lost 50% speed from that pick ban because I picked Wusa and he picked Vanessa and banned the Sierra. It's almost like he doesn't even care what units I get as long as he's got a 50% speed advantage. So based on the previous example, If his Molong is 280, his Molong is now 310, and my Gainey, which should have been 315, plus the speed lead should have been like 330, is now back to 315. My Jean is at normally around 240, could have been 265, but instead it's 240 versus a 300 speed Molong. That's a problem. That's a problem. But let's see how it goes. We reset the Raccoony. I'm not sure why. I think one issue I have with Raccoony that I might be overly paranoid about is that they're going to two-shot me via the Raccoony speed buff. So they're going to defense break me with the monkey, buff up the monkey again, and murder me in one shot. That's a worry I have. So I'm trying to prevent that. If my choices were him or the monkey, I don't know. Maybe I should have done the monkey. But the other two were not choices. So, hey, I get full provoke. I'm feeling pretty good. I cleanse the Gainey. I'm not sure why. I should have maybe cleansed the Jean, because that's the one that's about to get attacked 8 times. But that's what I chose. I sleep the Raccoony. I actually sleep it. I reset the Jean. Feeling really good about that. Obviously, don't stun the monkey. Really, I should be going after the monkey. And then here's where you can see right before that, I still had a couple turns of provoke on them. Here's where not putting the invincibility on my Jean is a problem, because I just took like 70% of my life because I randomly decided to cleanse and buff invincibility on Gainey. That he was not getting attacked at all. That was a wasted move. So I feel like that was a mistake. Don't want to make mistakes against G3s, because you're going to lose even mistake 3 quite a bit. Their runes are way better. Reset the Vanessa. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good here. I feel like I'm in full control of this match. I've got the monkey CC'd in the only way you can in provoke. But I worry because it's a G3. And my only form of healing is Triana with a little bit of Jean help. The other thing that I realized a little bit too late, I remember this match, is this Vanessa is a Mack truck compared to my Vanessa. Oh no, that's a problem. You give the Molong a chance to murder your Triana, and suddenly you're in a pickle. I had the opportunity to reset him. I know I did. I have 2 resetters. So what did I do? I reset Vanessa. I mean, that makes sense. That's maybe a little aggressive. I should have reset his kill, one of his killers in Molong. So I'd say that's probably a second misplay. And now we're dying. It's all falling apart. We held our own for a little bit, but a couple of misplays. And that's all it takes. Watch this, Vanessa. Bam, 13k into 5k. No defense break. 4k, skill 1. I mean, that's pretty good. So I feel like I could have played flawlessly and still lost, but you can't make mistakes and win against G3s. At least I can. Maybe someone can. I cannot. Oh, goodness. Another Gainey Hathor. So luckily, this is recent enough compared to the other Gainey Hathor that it's still fresh in my mind. And I'm like, okay, wait. We can do this. You know, we can't allow them to Gainey Hathor, right? So as soon as he drops those, my ban is selected. I don't know if it's going to be Gainey. I don't know if it's going to be Hathor, but I know it's going to be one of them. So my goal is to deal with the other one and just suffer through whatever else he decides to do. So as soon as I see the Gainey Hathor, I'm going Oki Josephine, just because they're great counters. One's fast, one's fire, one deals with crowd control really well. He goes Triana Ciara, which honestly does me a favor, because that signifies he wants to win quickly, which is fine, because I can sustain through stuff better than I can through Owusa Beta, as we saw before. So as soon as I see that, I'm like, okay, that gives me an opening, because I can go fire, you know? I bring double fire speed lead, and I bring a defense break and a good fire DPS. He follows it up with Tian Lang. That's fine. The only thing Tian Lang counters is the Oki here. I guess the Garo as well, right? Because the Garo's gaining bar. Other than that, though, I mean, that's pretty good. That's a double counter. And plus, you have Tian Lang. You're going to use Tian Lang, right? So that's what we got. Let's look at the bans. I ban the Hathor. I'm like, okay, so I don't want to lose 11 turns. So I'll go ahead and ban the Hathor. We'll deal with the Gainey. What's he going to reset? Vanessa, which is a problem. But it's fire against his wind-heavy team. He's going to reset the Josephine, which is a problem, but his only form of crowd control now is the Tian Lang and Sierra a little bit. Maybe he resets the Molong, but it doesn't do anything to the Garo, so that's my choice. If you, basically my rule of thumb is let Gainey through if he doesn't have a lot to enable off his second skill, because his third skill is not as bad as Hathor's third skill. So what's he gonna refresh? Tiana? Maybe, but not devastating. Ciara? Maybe, but not devastating. And then Tian Lang, who cares, right? So I feel like this is a somewhat nerfed Gainey. Imagine a Gainey refreshing Betas, Pernas, Wusas. Those are all a problem. This is not too bad of a problem. So I feel pretty good about this. There's a defense break. There's the reset. It's a good choice. Oh, not as good. I don't think. He's trying to deal with the Molong right away, but I think maybe hitting that Josephine with a stun and pushing the Vanessa passive would be a good idea. But he's on the offensive here. He's looking pretty good. The damage based on health. Josephine goes down. She's back. And we're real close to killing this Yara. All right, so his main kill condition is down. Feeling great. I'm hanging in there. This is still wide open. The Tian Ling needs a really lucky stun. But we sell out to kill the Gainey. Look, that's a cool shot of the panda. Look at him jumping. We sell out to kill the Gainey. And we know that Molong is not long for this world. And that's okay. That's a trade. You got to be willing to trade. It's like chess. If you're not willing to trade piece for piece, you're costing yourself in a lot of different ways. Molong did his job. He eliminated a huge threat and left me with double fire against wind neutral. So I feel pretty good about that. All right, next up. Eugene NY. So he's still ahead of me. Perna first pick. To me, what Perna first pick signals, like you think of like signals, Perna first pick signals two things. One, you love Perna irrationally. Two, you don't have a huge unit pool. Or three, you're messing around. You're just testing stuff. All three of those situations are great for me, right? If he's messing around, awesome. That might be a win. If he doesn't have a large unit pool, that's also awesome. And if you love Perna too much, that's fine. That's fine. Perna's great. So what I've learned from his picks is he wants to passively just chill out and heal, which is cool. That's a cool idea. So the Perna first pick, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that there's a better first pick if this is the comp he wants to run. So I kind of see it. Raccoony first pick would be interesting. But this person probably doesn't have Molong, probably doesn't have Gainey, is what he's kind of telling me. So his team, he's got the Pony Fenyang combo. So the buff defense and just murder you with Fenyang. He's got Tessarian, which I bet he brings a lot, because there's a lot of passives that you're going to have to deal with. I bet he brings Tessarian a lot. Raccoony sustain, Perna sustain, Fenyang sustain, all more or less passive sustains. With the Fenyang, the only one you have to actually push a button. So it turned into a cool comp. I was not expecting a lot, but it turned into a cool comp. I brought the standard that you've all come to know so well, because, you know, a lot of times... Oh, I've been the Amelia. That's kind of interesting. I don't remember that. I'm like, okay, he has immunity. That's it. I brought 2 forms of crowd control. I better not have any immunity on his side. He takes the resist lead. I take the speed lead. I probably should have gone to accuracy, but speed is so good. All right, we reset the Perna first thing, because I know Perna's a problem. Now, I'm attacking into it knowing he's going to get the Raccoony cleanse, but what options do you have? Sometimes people, you know, against my Elsharian or against Vanessa or Triana, they get cute about it and they're like, here, I'll actually show you a better picture. They're like, okay, I'm going to play around what you want to do. You know, I'm going to attack into the Triana so you won't get the Triana heal or revive or whatever. You won't get the Vanessa revive, the Triana death prevention. And they attack into my strength. Triana's one of my tankiest units. If you're attacking into Triana, she's a tank. That's what she's meant to do. It's like I've taunted a raid boss and you're attacking my tank versus my DPS. That's fine. You might want to just attack the DPS through the sustain, let them get their thing, and then just keep murdering, right? With the Perna, same thing. I'm not going to not attack a Perna because of a Raccoony. I'm not going to focus a Raccoony and let Perna, Tessarian, Fenyang just go off on me. So that's my theory there. I don't know if it's right or not, but that's how I play. I'm not going to play into your strength. I'm going to let you have your strength and hopefully out DPS it. Reset the Perna again. Probably unnecessary. I don't remember if I had it before. But we get the kill. Now we'll work on the Raccoony because I've got the other 2 crowd controlled as best I can. And I don't want them to cleanse the crowd control. I don't want him to choose his targets. I want me to choose his targets, which is what Jean's all about. So Jean's slowly dying, but I got 2 forms of death prevention. I'm feeling pretty good. That was a switch there. The Raccoony healed up. The Tessarian was the low man on the totem pole. And so I was like, okay, hard switch. We're changing plans. It's not something I anticipated doing. I had hoped to just roll into the Raccoony. But then immediately seeing how it's paid off on the Tessarian, it started taking chunks of life. I knew I made the right choice, right? So sometimes you just got to hard switch and try it. And if it works out, great. If not, go to your other target. And you lost a little momentum. But this is how it goes. We'll just speed through this because I think this turns out really well. Yeah, it's looking fine. I've got all the crowd control. I've got everything I need. So I think we just power through this. Eugene, I respect your comp. It just didn't work this time. But, you know, you're not going to win all the time. I win 60% of the times. That means 40% of the times, no matter what, I lose, right? And that's plenty. All right, moving on. feel like I'm taking longer to dissect these matches than I did to play them. Pause. Okay. Slow it down. So, Gainey first pick. I'm assuming he's going to Gainey Hathor me as soon as I see that. He didn't, so lucky me. I do the normal thing. The only difference here is Perna. I'm not playing Perna as much as I used to, and that might be a problem because it's one of my most prioritized monsters I rune. But against this team that's all Perna-able, there's no like heavy water, there's no Chow or whatever. I feel pretty confident with Perna as my sustain, Perna as my DPS. Perna. All right, let's go. Ban out the Gainey. He bans the Perna, so good choice. I feel pretty good about that because I have, 3 forms of buff removal for the Wusa. They're not great, but they're something. It's better to have options than absolutely nothing. Even if they all fail, oh well, I went into the fight with 3 ways to remove buffs and they failed, right? You got to give yourself a chance. He takes accuracy, gets the Wusa, and we go to work. We get the reset on the monkey. Oh man. So the reset doesn't matter so much, but getting the shield and the immunity off, fantastic. Because the monkey's the problem. We got to kill that monkey. I don't know if we will, but that's what we got to do. You don't want to hit the panda, or at least I don't want to hit the panda, because that just supercharges him, and that rarely goes well. Nice counter sleep on the Raccoony. That doesn't happen too often. Got the defense break. It's what we want. It's going to get cleansed every time, but we got to just go for it when we get it on there. Oh, we're so close. We get it. Nice job, team. He is all about the Triana, which is fine. I think that's his best target. He could probably murder the Josephine a little faster, but Josephine's also really good, so I don't know. He didn't have a great target. Okeanos is the switches monster, but it's counter forms. It's fire versus wind, so you don't want to do that. Now I'm all in on the Raccoony. Hoping, and get it done. Get a nice little clutch shield there off the Wusa sleep, which you don't want to get slept by Wusa, but it's not a bad second option of getting full shields and a Josephine turn out of it. So now we're just working on the Wusa. We're leaving the panda for last. That's kind of the way some pandas win, but it's also the way you beat them, so you just kind of have to do it. And my teams are fairly tanky. Yeah, we're good here. All right. What's our score? I don't even know. We'll see on this one. 1875. So we're real close. We're going for 1902. This only thing different is the Fran. And why did I go Fran? Let me think. I honestly don't remember. For some reason, I was like, I need 2 forms of immunity. Double immunity works for people. Maybe it'll work for me. And I don't know. I don't do it a lot. But every once in a while, the mood strikes. And it's really just that. It's just a whim. Because he has Jean Oki. And I was like, well, what do I do about Jean? I kind of have to allow it. Because I can't allow that CC combo. So I was like, okay, 2 forms of immunity. She's pretty fast. I've got a speed lead. It'll be fine. So we'll see how it goes. I banned the Gainey because I don't want him refreshing the Perna. I don't want him refreshing the Oki or the Jean. Lots of great refresh targets. The Okeanos I'm not a fan of, but I've got Josephine. I've got my double immunity, such as it is. So I feel okay about it. We get first turn with the Fran, and we're like, we hate Pernas, so let's go get that Perna. Unfortunately, he has Tiana. He resets the Triana. Full provoke, but not the Triana, which is the one I want to not be provoked if I can help it. There you go, Triana. Heal that business. Get a little baby heal off the Fran. I find it hard to rune Fran to heal a lot. So you have to, at least for me, I don't know why he quit. I think he had a good shot there. You have to choose, I think, for Fran, whether to give her all the stats to make her live or to make her heal with an attack and hope she doesn't get attacked. That's my thought. All right, same thing as usual. This is the normal kind of a thing that I do. He's doing roughly the same thing, but with double immunity. And some good sustain. I banned the Jean. Not sure why, but that's what I do. Oh, this is Blue Tiger Face guy. I remember this guy. I fought him several times over the last week. So I'm in a spot where I've got the removal I want. Josephine's the buff removal I want. Okeanos is pretty badly nerfed by being against this comp because he's got double immunity. And is currently sleeping. I'm not sure why he's so sleepy. But we're playing Kill the Perna. When you play Perna, play Kill the Perna. I build my Perna as a kind of a tanky hybrid because people try to kill Pernas. But I don't see as many of those as you'd think there'd be out there. We're slowly getting it. I don't know if we're going to get it or not. I feel like Blue Tiger Face guy is pretty good. Yep, there she goes. No, now I'm sad. Because that was my defense break. He knew it, I knew it, and now it's gone. And he's got the defense break, and I do not. Oh, we're so close. Can we kill it? We do. So, feeling a little bit better. Not a fan of that Molong. Maybe we can deal with it. Speed up a little bit. So, I feel like I'm pretty well off here. Because he doesn't have a cleanse. We reset the beta. Still not a fan of that Molong, but maybe we can kill it. There's the immunity. I feel like I wasted the Josephine move. Oh, tide's turning. The defense break is what blew me out of the water there. The defense break and the better sustain, the two forms of sustain. But, you know, we're hanging tough. We're slowly doing things. I don't think I win here. I don't remember. Get a taunt. Oh my goodness, we're at the 70%. So we both sustained quite a while. You can see two different sustains. Oh my goodness, it's so close. All right, hold on. We got to slow this down. This is getting good. I didn't remember this happening. So now it's just, I feel like it's somewhat RNG. My Josephine countering takes a bajillion turns, and we kind of luck into that. She kind of hero balls it. That was like a James Harden kind of a set for Josephine. Oh my goodness, I'm not a fan of how he's picking. I mean, I am for him, but not for me. So what do we just see? I went Molong. He went Hathor Vanessa, which to me immediately says, hey, I don't have a Ganymede, FYI. Or I'm really greedy and think I'll get it on the second round of picks. But no, I give him the tricolor control set that I like to do with the Molong Gainey Oki. He goes, okay, I'll take some passive sustain in Josephine Perna. And I'm like, oh man, I have no sustain. But I'm like, okay, I have a speed lead and I have a Garo, which is pretty good. And then I go Triana and he follows up with Varad, which I'm not a fan of. I banned the Vanessa, which is risky because I'm opening myself up to all that control. But I'm eliminating the defense break, and I don't want defense break Perna to happen to me. So that's my theory. And I get to speed the Oki, so I feel pretty good about that. I get turn 1. I miss the reset. I miss the stun. Can I kill it? I don't know. I'm pretty close to. Him blowing that move on one monster is a win for me. He's now given up his best form of control for that monster, his third skill. So I feel pretty good about that. I also feel pretty good about him attacking into Molong with his Perna. That's a win for me. Because Molong's my tank. Molong's my tank with the immunity or the elemental advantage. Not a fan of being asleep, but I had so many chances to avoid that. And now I'm frozen. And I'm sad. There you go. Now you're attacking the right monster. And I'm not happy about it, but he's doing the right thing. Molong's asleep again. We're fully taunted because she cycles really nicely. And okay, we're still there. But I'm not a fan of the health bars in the situation. But I get my control. Feel pretty good with that. Please die. Please die, Hathor. I need you to die. All right, good job. And now Perna's reset. I'm feeling pretty good. Even better with that. And so that was greedy of me, but I feel like it was the right choice. I know my Garo is going next, and he can one-shot that Perna with anything. I don't need the defense break. What I need is to set up my next kill, which is going to be the Jean. So that's kind of... You don't want to just wail on one monster when you've got the kill set up. Lucky sleep, right? Lucky sleep. Get the kill. Jean's defense broken. Jean's down, and we win, right? That worked out really nicely. And I guess... Is that it? I think that's it. I think that was the last one. So 1902 was the finish. It was right at 1%. And that was the climb from 17 whatever to 1902. And, you know, the season's, what, a day from over when I'm recording this. I'll release it in a few days. I'm currently right around 1%, 0.9 at 1922, I think, which I believe means I have to play one more. But, you know, win or lose, it'll be fine. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I like speeding up some of the matches. I like focusing on the pick ban, and I like going through the thought process of what are they trying to do? What am I trying to do? How am I trying to make what I do mess up what they're trying to do? So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully the season is going well for you, finishing strong, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.